defensive adaptations are astounding. It's able to bend light. Perfect camouflage.
You admire the son of a bitch.
Not what he does, Lieutenant, but what he is. For what he can give us. A new era of scientific technology. I've waited a lifetime for this, and I'm not going to miss the chance.
Holocaust. I dragged my long katana blade in the night to meet my assassins. All men with skirts laughing, liquid is measured in capacity, blasted. Patience is a virtue. Uncover the remains of a burned down church. My rhyme is believed to bear a curse. A scientist commits suicide from his own research. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Record bone breaker artillery misery that caused the death of inside your skull from a centipede. I am the hardest point where you collapse, Death Valley from humidity. The assembly of plate tectonics at the time of atomic explosion energy. When you seek, you face war of 1,000 Indian chiefs. Once more, the superior ability to cease. I drink for infinity and peace. The Holocaust army elevates Caesar, crushes Caligula, and changes the world. The thinker sculpture, dark the mythical creature appears in many cultures. A crystal creates a likeness of itself, quite like a pearl. Try to save plane crash survivors. Bloody future weapons. You found an elaborate espionage network of deep sea divers. Whole explosion 11. My guns emphasize robustness and simplicity. 9 atomic bombs. My rhyme is done, carrying nearly 21 tons. A plane disappears 4 minutes before it is supposed to land. Bruce Banner manages to get access to gamma ray equipment, but an earthquake interrupts him, and the Hulk winds up in the middle of war. Shock shell, bell rocks with force, and airship drifts uncontrollably at the North Pole. 88 bombs. I'm shockwave far away on Cybertron. Patience is a virtue. Troops across the river to attack the enemy on Christmas night. High explosives education hit the ice, causing an avalanche that falls and crash. With the quality of math, a minute to pray, a second to die before a blast. An instrument of an MC's landmass destruction struck them. The cowards disappeared from the radar screen for hours. My mind is of atomic power. A young man hunts his parents' killers. The ceiling came down in an inferno. A woman sees her double at night in a bus terminal. The incredible world of the Holocaust snap a man's neck like an anaconda. There goes war like Geronimo Cochise, Pictorial Mangas, Colorado. A sleepy town evolves into an apocalyptic playground. A Batman's grave found, faster than a bullet, faster than a greyhound. Firearm, weapon, bullet, X's are very unwanted Christmas presents. Some families steal a spaceship to escape atomic war in the present. There are remnants of the ancient North American city, lost in an Arctic encounter, an alien device that interferes with time, if any. Patience is a virtue. Ghosts of violent native warriors and spirits attack victims in the dead of the night. I kill an evil beast before it can unleash a worldwide plague seen in sight. Some allied airmen drop behind enemy lines, evade, capture, platonic. Comic book superheroes become role models for capitulation. Generations of children when listening to rhyme after. Psychics attempt to solve crimes, speak to the dead, and investigate hauntings. A man uses his ability to sense past events at historical locations while a rocket is launching. The ancient city is said to be full of ghosts and spirits. A firearm blaster after a vampire bites him, a man's only hope for survival is to kill his undead attacker. The cemetery vote great wolves, the mist, the night wave. Some scientists believe a highly advanced civilization flourished during the last ice age. Experts design materials that can catch gunfire, shell trigger blistering, while archaeologists and other scientists reveal the hidden history of my mystery, the Holocaust. All is lost. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Chosen to raise fallen warriors and prepare them to fight alongside gods. You must hunt as a pack or die like a dog. Your war machine becomes a chrome-plated coffin. There is no oxygen. Try to intervene in this volatile situation and your crew receive their death doctrine. The gods have exiled you to the mortal world. When the warrior within you wakes old, you must flee those who will control both your body and your soul. The spirit of a slain warrior is crushed by the Holocaust and humanity. I administered a drug to a fan. My clan has been a death in the family. Grand vision of post-war landscape. The skeptic insists in search for a ghost in our nature. When an alludes to his tale is called cellular regeneration. Archaeologists uncover the remains of 600 graves, secret underwater caves. More than 6,000 structures explode when my poetry becomes flame. A scientist exposed to massive dose of gamma radiation transforms into a hulking monster when angered. I try to reverse the process that transforms me, you're in danger. Independence from colonial powers is the destination focus. Survival training, people in space, life rafts, high-tech, camping gear, spacesuits, explosives. Law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. Drag my long katana blade in the night to meet my assassins. All men with skirts laughing, liquid is measured in capacity blasting. There was a great statue built on the main port. The earthquake crashed in. It was ordered never rebuilt again. There were 1,000 men with swords who can't violate them. By the sunrise they were all slain, and all Holocaust walk within. My rings are all rhinoceros beetles. My records still scratch needles. Inside the mind there is time, life and the reality of dead people. MC's entities make me laugh, like when an avalanche crashed. A rapper claimed he was pungent, but died on his first slash. A gas mask shortage triggers looting. Concrete demolition, cement work, block walls, land escaping. Prison movie, when the angels were built silent and the earth came a race of warrior giants. Pomegranate, modern planet, solver mechanic, problem panic. I use current scientific knowledge in a place where I've been banished. Masterminds an amphibious operation, ending in carnage and capitulation. After letting rap legions march deep to the desert, we circle and annihilate them. There are robot tanks in the jungle, where there is a civilization crumble. I throw an MC from a cliff to watch as his body tumble. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. The oldest recorded battle which can accurately be reconstructed. The mystery writer's death, several inmates seek freedom while from a jet of missile thrusted. The vast metropolis of Rome at its peak. Men and women use the power of their minds to accomplish extraordinary feats. The chronicles of strange beasts. Beneath Los Angeles and New York runs a complex network of many miles of train tunnels deep. Scientists embark on a mission to the Earth's core to save the planet from worsening quakes and volcanic eruptions. Their search go on. I flee town to avoid a hanging. Watch the sky when I'm banging. Try to protect a witness from sword assassins with blood spraying. A man must find a way to get inside a hovering object that endangers life on Earth with its tragedy. Some civil war-like battle results in 23,000 casualties. A not particularly bright man takes part in the experiment, which makes him highly intelligent, but the side effect is his own death in his residence. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. The law-abiding populace and criminal activity. Nightmare at 20,000 feet. An airline passenger sees a creature on the wing. Death in the jungle by stepping into the life of a soldier. On the dark side of the moon, a black roller coaster. A typhoon claims more than 600 lives. A biochemical weapon from the dark age of time. shall surely die.
With another bulletin. And now, as the Sino-Russian border war continues to rapidly escalate, U.S. authorities are beginning to question to what degree we will become involved in what could swiftly grow into global conflict.
Abort firings, abort firings. Interception will fragment the Sili carrying missiles. Repeat, abort firings, abort firings.
If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. Prison ministry, a gun science project malfunctions that may help him discover his past. Sicily is Italy, warriors clash. A man believes violent spirits are holding you captive in his home. A woman's ESP warns that a picnic will be a disaster. Sharp distillery, dark war zone. Risk his life to nurses that's really ill gunfighter. You find as Earth appears to die, a team of American astronauts tries hard to colonize Mars to save mankind. Of course, a dead man showed up on a horse. Brain computer interface, robotic soldiers, the commercialization of outer space. Fire lover, killer radio, night of the coyote, a day of time. The explosion of your ship's engine drains the ship of its oxygen supply. My service gains a reputation for ruthlessness. You dare not tread. It's Christmas in a troubled family. An Egyptian princess rises from the dead. An alien device turns me into a superhero where trees are withered. Strong medicine. You were almost dead when border people kidnapped you from the river. The murder of a silent film director, sustaining a lecture blind. A pack of werewolves targets a squad of soldiers at night on a training exercise. The sole survivor of a massacre, disaster, sword and shield. They find a body 40 years ago killed, buried in a war field. Strange things occur at a house. Gallant minded typhoons who die when the music activates a deadly virus inside you. The inventor of a virtual prison. Yes, it sings a song to the finished gun. At night, tunnel boring machines, robotic kills, the kingdom of the sun. If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. Casualties, death control soldiers' faces. Astronauts find Earth-like scenes on an alien planet where people have no chases. Bombs begin to fall on a small part of this country. Death is patient. A computer resurrects its dead owner. You hear this song from a space station. A thought of going to prison for a crime he didn't commit nearly drives a man insane. The experiment intends to transport a ship through dark time and space. Ice-breaking ships, transport planes, robotic explorers. The plot to kill Hitler angry. The fans try to find out how the people of a town are behaving strangely. The charismatic leader paranoia is killed 900 people. The Holocaust invents a mental microchip that links the human brain to a mainframe. Computer thoughts lethal. The philosopher Galileo is put on trial for heresy for suggesting that the earth revolves around the sun. A heroic American soldier hauls over 100 pounds of gear during World War I. A slot machine haunts a visitor in Las Vegas. Dark and Park's legacy. Planes eating defend themselves in both indigenous and borrowed weapons.
Have begun to crack under the strain, and civil defense authorities think the situation is much the same across the entire country. Martial law is now nationwide. Major cities in all parts of the country, New York, Los Angeles, report plague victims falling dead in the streets, in their homes, at their work. The first symptom appears to be severe choking, followed by immediate unconsciousness. Death occurs within minutes. Whether a state of war between China and Russia still exists is not important any longer. Our fellow countrymen are dying. The very foundations of civilization are beginning to crumble under the dread assault of that horror long feared germ warfare.
Follow that channel. This is a Class 1.
If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. If an enemy were in my eye, would I cry? I return from the dark side, you shall surely die. My skin was dead and nuclear explosion when I'm trapped inside. I came from the sky, you shall surely die. I smoke a chickaroo and talk at you.
Talking about y'all is hip-hop.
Ça vous ennuie pas que je vous donne un conseil. Si vous ne pouvez gagner une bataille, évitez-la.
Warlords of the information age. In the land that caused 7 plagues. Hound the truth written down will live beyond the decades. Inside the cave I throw a hooded torch. Your brain could distort 8,000 men inside a wooden horse. You die from spiderwebs, the rose garden mystery. I'm full of mountains down when under a rock a centipede. Alone Al Capone built a city under Chicago. It's Robotech and its motto. The snowman, he lurks abominable. This year America's overspent $1 billion in taxes. You better practice Death Valley type of cactus. Find I got a monstrous rhyme. It's on the hillside like the last rickety-rackety battle of Megatron and Optimus Prime. It is apocalypse time. I recite documents blind. A samurai was the last sign. You watch the hostages die. It comes tumbling down like the walls. Startles horses in stalls. My henchmen unfortunately fall upon y'all. I bomb shit like Robert F. Kennedy. Vietnam flicks. You behold a pale horse. A knight fell with bloody gauntlet. Yo, like an owl in a tree. I'm never scared. Instead of a werewolf, I turn into a werebear. I've been doing this shit all day. I breathe fire and flame. Muscular red dragon trot down the hallway. Inside my wings are many scenes. The arts of war and men dying. I begin flying and drunkards fall off Hennessy King. It's unfortunate, I shatter you like porcelain. There is no remorse for men who went where the corpses live. Like the tongs, I throw Chinese bombs and fight off 50 men with one spear inside the swamp. During the Indian War, a man was shot with an arrow in his eye. There is a dark angel in the sky with wings wide. I'm from a place in the ocean where fire and ice collide. Tonight the most motion caused a swarm inside the mind of the locusts. There were 11 ghost men who set fire to a village, and the night was hocus pocus. The skeletons of some lizards and birds. You surrender your undiligent words in a rainy graveyard where you were delivered a blow and unheard. I caused 99 explosions. Dinosaurs rise from the ocean. In that sky the Led Zeppelin burns down, causing commotion. Ill the holiday killer, your death haunts. Many bullets riddle a wet swamp. Candle fire to killer moth. Cannonball splash, waterfront restaurant. Your soul's perished. The cowboys from hell are the seraphs. We break your face like mirror image you couldn't stare at. You get snapped, clip clopped in a bear trap. From beyond the grave to despair rap. The angry princess, the torn prince you wonder where at. Like a jack-o'-lantern batch in the tabernacle. I dance and attack a phantom, die from the poison apple. The hour of the kraken when flowers blacken. It is a solitary place but far from the desert laughing. Inside my lyrics are the spirits of mythical serial killers. Pirates who light matches under their hats and pillage. Leads an underground expedition to the lair of a bloodthirsty creature. Find this dark time, another sharp rhyme. Search for a way to bring an MC out of a coma before he dies. A doctor prescribes a fatal cure for backache. The truth behind one greatest mistake goes to tombstone. A woman acquires amnesia after witnessing a murder. You're bitten 8 times by a snake, route out above the lake. Indian tail like Stoneface, the artist of escapes. There's a lady in a castle who wears a dress from a wedding date. The murder of a wealthy young man, if any, while flesh-eating zombies threaten their fortified city. Rises from poverty, the forbidden city is built in the 15th century to seclude the emperors of the Chinese. A demon visits his mortal client and finds various ways of dying. A modern couple buys a piece of haunted furniture that's antique. The teen tracks in a jail of the 19th century. Paranormal activity, it becomes apparent the alien's vulnerability. A photo of Bruce Banner before it is published must be retrieved. Treasures may be entombed in the mountain beneath. A mysterious death may have ties deep to a project of global warming. One night a lawless street, a man dies by a book to read. I am the robot tank. The sheriff deputizes every man in the town to look for me.
I'm talking about y'all as hip hop.
Ça ne vous ennuie pas que je vous donne un conseil. Si vous ne pouvez gagner une bataille, évitez-la.
So you have come for the last of the renegade sons of Shaolin. May God have mercy on your souls. This'll make a fine graveyard. A little boy, dark day, played with my kid in the woods. One time I went up a tree and I went up after, you see. And when I looked down, there was a witch on the ground. It started getting late, she asked me to come down, she promised me a snake. My enemies lay deceased and lost beneath this. My assembly is one of the most dreaded of all diseases. Uncover the dark history of the infamous prison. Lost worlds, legends of Atlantis, Amazon, Stonehenge. People can't fly, see the future or walk through fire. Clean escape, iron land filled, gentle giant. You cannot design a house of horrors for one of his theme parks. A town of sheriff realized the aliens. It has come from the sun and moves with a uniform that is called the dark. In the streets I stalk knives to land. The beast that walks like a man. Rivers of blood, years of darkness, unexplained tragedies occur, and I tell an MC I'll be back in 3 days to kill him. Flint hand, I secretly amass a huge arsenal in order to lay siege to a dying land. Greatest space commander sends a female android to Earth to destroy an escaped convict. You find when you die you're attacked by Indians from the ridge. Find a kind of tropical bird dies. A man who grew up inside a nuclear fallout shelter sent out for supplies. Escaped prisoners take you hostage in a dark land of lullabies. Siphon mercury from a mine. An atomic bomb explodes over 3,000 times. This account of the lies and crimes of the notorious outlaw or professor who hides liquor on his bookcase. You die in a savage war place where more than 5 Indian tribes. A pirate who escapes from prison after 20 years confined. An explosion in the sky. The pumpkin king of Halloween Town plans to kidnap Santa Claus. You are trapped in a land of pantomimes. A valley link with superstition and legend is defined. Shadow of the giant, shadow of the colossus in the year 4009. Perhaps have a deep discussion in a restaurant. This inclines to the fact that a blind man disguised himself as a priest and vows to kill a one-armed boxer with a weapon that could decapitate a king who has become drunk off wine. A reincarnated man perhaps returns 22 years later, killing all kinds of these MCs who rhyme. Forever spliced together with human genes and computer chips. A creature designed to survive in space runs rampant on the earth in the sunshine. The bleeding shaman, village of the black-hearted. Years of blood, rivers of darkness. Zombie bird killer, hindrance, ghost spider. Shoulder tomahawk, crossbow marksman. Sky the high shepherds wasting no time. Your small clan encounters the Cheyenne, warlike Indians in the ridge in its afterline. Territory starts at night. All out war down in the basin. You find it becomes dawn behind. Elbow grease sailors and leaky submarines. A shark has an oil in its belly. It swims ferociously. I leave your metropolis scene and explosions clean. Then approach a dozen ghosts focused between. Inside a bird's eye, it's a thing which it cannot smell. Perhaps there is a ghost in a shell that roams the realms of hell. A queen in her own pageant. Hercules killed a centaur by accident. Turned the river and cleaned the gate. Stable soul was never captured. A snake had learned its movement from the fish that swims. And the land be filled with witches to the end. How unfortunate was the torment of the orbiting corpses. And inside the coffins hid forces, and some say them of empty sources. From damn bloody assaults and a test of time. Gold thieves sleep 100 years and avoid punishment. People dining on lying scorpions, your battleship underwent an explosion. We collect death benefits on MC's dead bodies. Tragic. The MC horror film fanatic steps into the movie omnipotent. A little money wouldn't hurt any one of us. Elite special forces perform dramatic raiding operations. Best solution. Through the creek, adventurers seek the cup Jesus used at the Last Supper. Who condemn man dreams of his execution. The Christians and the Muslims engage in a series of epic battles for Jerusalem. That wall there walks the very edge of the civilized world. Large weapon garage, AK-47 barrage, retribution. I shattered a devil's skull to different units. Victims and systems of the righteous. A dark scientist in his handiwork triggers malfunction. Electronic device. From LA to NY and back. 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 Graveyard of sunken ships where there wasn't a breath. May you live in interesting times, you see about bludgeon to death. The full capabilities of a human brain going far beyond the task of everyday living. I attack your battleship with the Philadelphia experiment and the great ghost on Thanksgiving. In a constant struggle to hold off ever more potent forms of attack. For certain, a billowing curtain or a reflection of life. I shattered the devil's back. Attack, attack. Investigate two homes with long histories of paranormal activity. In search of the ghost of a young man haunted aircraft carrier centipede. Millions make a pilgrimage to seek cures. Stigmata, haunted, hornet, zombies talk. The story of 400,000 prisoners. The undead might actually walk. A veiled alliance with a bloody, deadly enemy. How strangely a shit, bizarre murders, death. Cold, a mountain gorilla researcher is hacked to death. An Italian baker is found out dangling, hanging from a bridge. The excavation of a subterranean chamber. And your society was hit. War on supernatural events, war torn. Firearms function in a variety of forms. From LA to NY and back. 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 A wolf growl. Egyptologists uncover ancient tombs on rhyming future blade. The sun fails to rise on a man's execution date. I catch an Indian chief posing as an army interpreter. The death of a gunfighter murder. A mind travels further. Fire burns 26,000 square miles on the news for any observer. I lead an elite team in the Pacific Northwest against aliens capable of assuming human form. You will surrender or be destroyed at one. Indian leader wages a one-man war. A tsunami forces people to evacuate. Tornadoes strike a downtown full of skyscrapers. Killer hurricanes. You are trapped inside buildings during an earthquake. The Holocaust stretches the bound of its empire with an innovative and effective arsenal. Explosions at a birth rate unstoppable. A little girl learns to play the violin in some hospital. Pirates use firearms, swords, and navigational equipment. Gold carbon scene. Dark cities. Cities are brought to life through digital technology. From LA to NY and back. From LA to NY and back. From LA to NY and back. From LA to NY and back.
drawbridge, which was caked and crusty with age, and gazed up toward the parapets high above them. The fortress seemed impenetrable.
I have not come this far, only to be stopped by a wall of stone. We must find a way inside this blasted castle.
An astronaut goes by time warp to a future planet ruled by smart apes who keep humans as slaves. Perhaps you die today. An unseen force kills those that would harm a young woman. Contaminated mutants from graves. AI bid on a mediocre painting puzzles a detective. The crew encounters apparitions while exploring a ship that crashed on a planet that's so desolate. Who wants to kill a millionaire? Find ice can be an unusual tool deepest winter. The ghost of a murdered girl will not rest until justice is brought to a killer. The hostile environment and haunting beauty of the desert. You get trapped in a virtual reality training scenario. A shooting in Rome carved in prehistoric terror. You receive mesothelioma from your radio. A routine stunt kills a stuntman. 25 journalists vanish. Grey heart brave. My two twin 38s. They possess a bond linking them from the factory womb to the grave. And it's two businesswomen. My poetry scholars debate the age. Some artists are second rate. Investigate a strange lawyer who is trying to escape. Here captors interrogating a prison ex-president. Your lyrics die from the plague. You must draw on intellectual and emotional reserves to triumph over a brilliant sociopath who has kidnapped your brigade. A fishman from the lake, Jellyfish Creek gun rage. A fatal journey into a purpose-built community carved out of the jungles by the followers of the robot tank. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. I am lyrically and physically the Cherokee spirit chief in the countryside where ogres and giants fear it's me. An author survives a space shuttle tragedy. A dying computer transfers data into his brain, overloading him with information as he sleeps. In the dark, he visits the crew to help fight off a possible takeover by a culture of organized machines. You die in class at 12 schools of mystery. The manhunt may lead them to the truth about alien existence, don't you see? I issue a mandate to get illegal guns and kill by using chemistry. The robot takes terror apparatus, battle the fencing teacher. We team up with the Moongate squad to track lost soldiers along vehicles that have been damaged. Man lives in the solid world in which he believes in. I write of a murder, drug dealing, and a major catastrophic event. After the crucifixion, Christ's followers are filled with the Holy Spirit. The American justice system deals with organized crime while Joseph Valachi snitches. I break the sound barrier, fly at Mach 7, and am given a death sentence. The dark intergalactic pirates board your ship and stun the crew betwixt it. The transfer consumption and search for water. This brings you into contact with a person from your past. In a flash, an enemy Indian chief was killed on a riverbank. This which has now become a major harbor. Encounter giant scorpions, dragons, and gorilla. A stranger tames an old west boomtown. My sword cut with precision. Dying people listen. A man catches a corporal selling rifles to Apaches at intermission. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. Doge's war injured in violence. The core values and beliefs of tyrants. Pulls to death around Secret Alliance. The last gunfighter from the stronghold. The robot tank fights a backward blood sports while the agent believing has gone rogue. My dogfight planes drop 4,000 tons of explosives. The wind rumbles, men are crumble. Four unlucky friends encounter deadly creatures in tunnel. The Challenger tank claims extremely long range kills through the eyes. A viper-bitten young woman needs to drink from the blood of a rare fire lily to survive. Battlefield detectives fearing left for dead with only hearing. Meditation, more doomsday tech education. In fact, asteroids, bioterrorism, cyber terrorist attacks, genetic engineering. The long lost lightsaber your friend is taken by slave traders is filled with foreboding when a stranger shoots down a pilot in your airspace later. The Allies devise scientific and mechanical breakthroughs to thwart Hitler. The Riddler of prisons. When on television, the giant monster battles a purple dragonfly after a new weapon lets it enter from another dimension. Bastard out of California, see the ritual of dead generals. Sheriffs and judges desperate to stop the growing onslaught of outlaws need grisly technologies to punish and detour these criminals. You might find for a time the Wolverine was raised by wolves, vanishing, dead man talking, an investigation of a radiation disease that now plagues our schools. We wipe out your city with chemical weapons. Some man stalked in his dreams. A crash landing on a strange planet leaves him with a complete loss of memory. A possible takeover by culture of organized machines. Your destination. While exploring an uncharted planet, the crew members encounter aliens who hunt indigenous creatures for recreation. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. Everyone here is welcome at Tankstown. encountering supernatural forces, the undespised demise of those being tortured. There is a portrait of zombies wandering an orchard. My plague is morbid in the swampland like a stegosaurus. Today we orbit to a place where there is dismay and torment. It's unfortunate my prehistoric metamorphosis, like the source of which a crash course is lit in no remorses is. I still leap from a coffin and throw your corpses to the orphans. I was made from a cave of beautiful women like the Gorgons. I rose to the land of the west with one desire, to bury you under a mountain and set you on fire. A little boy slumped on a piece, sketched to inquire. Amidst the graveyard on each tombstone a vampire. A man stands in a ring, suspenders and pantaloons. He leaves through the woods to seek the king of the moon. There are night elves and helter-skelters I reveal. In the land where the fat witch and the skinny witch rob the soldiers of a meal. I am found in these shadows there, with a flower where you pass through the stables in the after hour. Upon the night was a man I could not catch. He reminded me of myself, but I ran out of breath. Men came with their torture shovels, forks, and bones. But from the towers I wait for them to go home. The words jumped up from the page after I looked. I rode my boat while vampire women stood along the brook. You laid in the bed with a spine fracture, reading a Bible chapter, praying to the master, but all you could capture was death in the after. They say when you fast, you think faster. The altar of your disaster, the first floor, the first room behind the door,
I'm
rapture.
gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known.
A man invites 3 enemies to share his bomb shelter. Leavenworth is the nation's first federal penitentiary. Anything you make, I can melt it. Bigfoot and other monsters, the mermaid, the abominable snowman, giant squids, dragons. An encounter with the survivors of a crashed spaceship. A weapon cavalier in his pageant. Passengers on a sinking ship board a seemingly deserted vessel. A crash landing in the Mojave Desert. The crowd loses intellectuals, believing they all are cursed. MCs jump into the furnace faster. Against the roar of tanks, so powerful legion, that's engineering disaster. The Rose Garden mystery. Pistol duels to the death, a long list of enemies. A rally might turn bloody, 2 ferocious explosions in history. A part responding to a distress signal in the Arctic. The discovery of an artifact and the investigation of its meaning, ultimately endangering seas retarded. A soldier sees through his enemy's eyes. A battle harbor of ghost ships. May you live in interesting times, the history of explosives.
I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known.
You're encountering supernatural forces, the undespised demise of those being tortured. There is a portrait of zombies wandering an orchard. My plague is morbid in the swampland like a stegosaurus. Today we orbit to a place where there is dismay and torment. It's unfortunate my prehistoric metamorphosis, like the source of which a crash course is lit in no remorses is. I still leap from a coffin and throw your corpses to the orphans. I was made from a cave of beautiful women like the Gorgons. I rose to the land of the west with one desire, to bury you under a mountain and set you on fire. A little boy slumped on a peak, sketched to inquire. Amidst the graveyard on each tombstone a vampire. A man stands in a ring, suspenders and pantaloons. He leaves through the woods to seek the king of the moon. There are night elves and helter-skelters I reveal. In the land where the fat witch and the skinny witch rob the soldiers of a meal. I am found in these shadows there, with a flower where you pass through the stables in the after hour. Upon the night was a man I could not catch. He reminded me of myself, but I ran out of breath. Men came with their torture shovels, forks, and bones. But from the towers I wait for them to go home. The words jumped up from the page after I looked. I rode my boat while vampire women stood along the brook. You laid in the bed with a spine fracture, reading a Bible chapter, praying to the master, but all you could capture was death in the after. They say when you fast, you think faster. The altar of your disaster, the first floor, the first room behind the door, rapture.
I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known. I'm gonna watch you slowly take away a love I've never known.
this machine at random. My anthem, imaginative, ravenous, malicious, find the origins of heaven and hell and the symbols that represent them. The Italians built a great metropolis on a lagoon. In time, great changes at just boom. While creatures wrecked the town, many battling MCs are shot to death, a multitude in a room. After stealing information from the Atlantis database, I make a great escape. The struggle for mob leadership leads to an endless cycle of murder and blood feuds at a later date. DEA agents patrol the 1,800-mile Mexican border. A group of rock climbers must prevent mercenaries from using a destructive weapon. 88 tales of horror. Dr. Frankenstein creates a soulless monster for cadavers and tried to hide it from the old world. The wind turned the cold swirl. A Morocco gypsy sold pearls. The fallen pilot awakes alone after a crash. His aerial danger. Police and archaeologists remove skeletons from a burial chamber. From the city to the woods, and when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. Yo, from the city to the woods, when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. Perhaps you and your friends are never seen again. The ghost of a lovely lady, the tall Grim Reaper in the wind. Bruce Banner seeks an antidote for a bacteria contaminating a desert town. A civilian plane carrying a movie actress is later shot down. A bitter ex-convict makes a capture man a slave, a lesson hard nailed. An alien creature must be destroyed after a government plans to use it as a weapon fails. Before their time, ancient technology, rain, snow, and then hail. A group of people who have telekinetic powers, dead men tell no tales. Apache warrior, Cherokee warrior, no book written is scarier. Paleontologists, students, and forest rangers encounter a legendary creature in a deeply wooded area. Dark as a pilot, I ran my aircraft into an enemy bomber over Los Angeles, preventing the destruction of California. On the hillside lies your grave, all covered with begonias. On the mic I smashed, causing a train crash and stampede with such words. Strange bargain, schoolhouse, from Alfred Hitchcock to Birds. A dark space station captain is accused of an intellect harm. We step off the street and shoot you 40 times in a restaurant. From the city to the woods, and when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. Yo, from the city to the woods, when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. You're a planet whose orbit straight too close to a black hole. None shall escape or remain in the desolate plateau. Be consumed by my savage sword, the man from a mountain hollow. Lyrically thrown away, a depression and misery from withdrawal. Whenever a season when a storm gathers, explosion in the court crime. You are here to document the stressful reality of military life during wartime. I am the Holocaust, a burnt offering on the cliff, the fatal risk. To leave you none to remain, the black hole's gravity decimates your escaping ships. Argues the existence of extraterrestrials in the days of the needle. Work evil threats to tear apart the robot tank's home planet and enslave its people. Grave robbers steal thousands of artifacts from archaeological sites, museums, and private collections. I'm a celestial being brought alive to perfection, a war machine to battle the evil unseen, esoterical troopers. Engineers overcome yet preserve natural obstacles while paving the way toward America's future. The distance between the target and the launch point is crucial. Samurai, the elite warrior class, holds the reins of power in Japan for more than 700 years, and now I shoot you. From the city to the woods, and when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. Yo, from the city to the woods, when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. From the city to the woods, and when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood. Yo, from the city to the woods, when the sun shines good, the robot tank once a Specter where a graveyard stood.
I brought a bowl of water. Soldiers give up their lives for their country. 11 bombs to the harbor. Alana Brown searching for a way to save her father. I killed 100-minute day. I didn't want to. You're dishonored. Silent metropolis and woods kings. Killing the soldiers at the river, it was a good thing. An Indian scout kills his brother's killer, making him the target of his friend. The desolate coast, west coast. A half sky blue poncho escaping through Mexico. A bookie accepts a dead man's wager. A kiss so badly, biblical disasters wait for the savior. The role of the machine gun is submachine gun since World War I. Where did it come from? The aliens would have to come and conquer us. We're monstrous in the days, deadly ladies. You seek to live prosperous at night, late. Great advances transform the frontier. Survive a plane crash, truck past, my gun bust spears. What a despicable act of cowardice. An avenging angel causes in nature an imbalance. The first 1,000 years of Christianity involving a man with a deadly tattoo, one dead athlete. In the Civil War, beating Confederate soldiers past a widow's home. Painted in blood, we soon infiltrate the city and turn to stone. Directly responsible for millions of rappers' deaths. The First World War began with a single bullet in the West. Your starship faces creatures of mass destruction. Life and death in the Holy Temple, still walking at night. My seduction. 14 million from the sunken Spanish galleon. The warrior queen rebels against the Romans. They are Italians. In industrial action, they release a cloud of tan smoke. A terrible silence, air travel, a canoe boat. My organization turns to violence. At night, there was an Indian brave who did a strange drug and would dance on the roof all night. Somebody killed him in daylight, and soon ghosts from the west disappeared back to rest. I cut a man down with a shotgun, he died how he slept. Skeleton in the chimney, the Indian chief spirit and storm shadow paths for enemies. For centuries, you gain spinal injuries. 7 days to live from the assembly. You die in the Indian wasteland from the moon centipede. I go where there is darkness, always hit the target. Starships, voyages, I climb inside, explode a starship. Shot down over Vietnam on a rock, a praying mantis. A man once a specter, now a ghost. Ghost. Secrets of the dead, a lone gunman is amongst the dead. I burn your body so your ghost has to leave the neighborhood full-fledged. There is a man who has died from something that he said. There is a crypt in the graveyard that is empty, open edge. The second largest animal, amber forest, understandable. While 1,000 MCs are crossed by the ancient creature's mandibles. Refreshing army untamed, mechanical ingredients in the brain. Stalk the courtyard, twilight where all are found slain. The heavens get snapped when I walk the legend of bats. It is found inside the eye where there's no turning back. Superman punch you in the chest, you find it thing cannot rest. Bright one's a gun, my rhyme from night sky celeste. This splits your vest. Gun center test, a firearm flex. Drink like after dark park slugfest. Antler bomb, spinach wine, grape juice, minutes kind. A knight with a sword in your armor who dies when it's time. I came to abortion your honor. From the future to find Sarah Connor. I'm the call, she'll be lost in a glacier like the Donner. There is a place, it is called the bad place. America the beautiful, pharmaceutical. A woman seducing you. I'm brutal too. Those who refuse the news. An execution view. An execution view. An execution view. Barking dogs. Death machine, I kill 1,000 soldiers in the morning, their last breaths are seen. Apaches come down, trade you a good horse for the woman, or else the hills have eyes, the complex is king. Beware of villains and their devious intentions. My rhyme suspensions are the outlaw war inventions. As the satellite probes, all of America is the great landmass that is longer from north to south than any other land area on the globe. I stop a jumbo jet from crashing on my back like Superman. The exploration of space on the computer scan. We earn distinction, deep shock, a haunted lighthouse disaster. The Apache first wandered into the southwest from Canada or Alaska. Scrap metal artists, truce with God might be coming to an end. Keep disregarded. Sudden cold snaps impact civilization. Your frozen hardest, chilling discovery while recovering. Surviving a forbidden wilderness. Die today though, trapped on a planet with a volcano. This sort of moment shatter your halo. The archaeological findings confirming the existence of the Holocaust assassination grave. Travel to amazing worlds you've never experienced in the information age. Desperado outlaw wars, Desperado Badlands justice. Sentence a prisoner to a lifetime of solitary confinement. Until it's quite big at night, I stalk with an axe and a sawed-off shotgun busting. investigate deaths that seem to be linked to a machine from a dark war zone. From a distant shore, king of the lost world, your body in a box with broke bones. An explosion rocks your trade center. You die in a sweat while you slept. They die when diverse characters try to make it through the hazardous holiday of death. MCs are assaulted and strangled in their homes. Creep through the night with a lamp. Opium, morphine, and heroin are three deadly derivatives of the poppy plant. A woman discovers the mummified bodies of a woman and her child. After that you fall. The world's deadliest criminals come face to face with an ancient creature unleashed within their prison walls. Cocaine leads police to strengthen the caliber of their guns. A firefighter tries to convince others about a creature spawned by the sun. I send you a fatal strike, pretty snake in a box. The equation of time stops. You find danger for yourself while a lit-eyed wolf watch. Perhaps you hunt what has never been found, and a thing known by God. After killing his brother, Cain lives out his days in the land of Nod. A rich grave containing the remains of a woman is found in a remote corner. Inside a poet's eye, it's pitiful. Archaeologists discover the skeletal remains of 29 individuals. A plane crash, this nuclear disasters ends inexorably in tragedy. This meditation. Humans struggle to survive in a world ravaged by war and radiation. A man who controls the weather, clever in the sun. Here come the long-tailed rooster forever. In the time I die, I will keep open my eyes. This even to embezzle the desert. You will be found dead in a playground, an Indian grave found where all his loyal braves make sound. Police find thousands of bones in a serial killer's backyard. Welcome to my complex community, which you have crashed on. Californians are haunted by corpses from a 100-year-old shipwreck. A Christmas bedtime story may be real. Which enemy should I hit next? You will be cut and hanged within the next 24 hours. A shapeshifter masquerades while a man walks his body aflame. In the day, darkness is devoured. My weapons fire, cutting down trees and turning your armies to tragedies. You will die, seen by the eyes like a psycho Janet Lee. I thwarted their attack on royalty, a case involving a man seemingly capable of bending people to his will, revealing the great dynasty. Trap cave guides, jewel thieves, face a deadly swarm of prehistoric rhinoceros beetles who eat people, an angel flying, blood on his wing. A family man disappears some night after work, sand and ice, snake poison, a space shuttle crash site, this with disaster flirt. Igloos are made of ice, but in fact are very warm. I'm particular who I drink with, you explode here after this deadly storm. My great battalion captures the mountain despite being outnumbered and misinformed. Ghost plane of the desert, on a heavily armed space station. I watch evil alien robots on a planet gather energon cubes at dawn. I bark at dogs.